Hello, everyone. Yes, it's great to be back. This is Katrina McHyde on another uh, vlog post of On the Narrow Path. And this time I have Zachary, my son, with me. I talk about him many times, and I know many of you keep up with us and wonder how we're doing. And as you can see, he's smiling next to me today. So I thought there would be a special treat for us to be able to do it together. You can hear in my voice, I've still got a little bit of a cold left. So cold number two. It's been a couple months since I've done the last vlog post. A lot has been happening since then. A whole lot has been happening since then. But one of the things is I lost my voice there for a while. I think the first cold was on that one, and now we're here. So this will be fun. I'm going to have Zachary with me. I'm planning on having this just a little more relaxed than normal. I don't have a topic on hand. I have a bazillion things I want to do vlog posts on, but I just really felt like this would be a great time to just have Zachary here and be able to update you on what's happening in the McHyde world, and just let you be able to see our faces and see that we are alive. I had a girlfriend from the dance school that I work at. I'm going to give you her name. She is lovely. I love her. Her name is Maria, and I saw her this just a few days ago at a dance party, and we hadn't been able to spend a lot of time together for a while. Because work schedules and other things, I'm sure, is probably it, and our classes are different. But she's just wonderful, and she looked at me very intently and said, "Where are the vlog posts?" And she's been missing the vlog posts, and so I just give you a shout out, Madia. When you see this, I love you, and I'm back. I'm going to do my best to do them when I can, of course, like I've said in the past. It's good to have you here. I'm so happy to be here. I'm so happy to be back here doing this with you. I've really missed doing this. And this is we're starting out a new Gregorian year. So to those who keep and it's important to them the Gregorian New Year that's going on, Happy New Year, and may this year be better than all the other ones have been, and continue to be better and better, spiritually, physically, financially, emotionally, in all ways, that it would go well for you this next year. And I wanted to just give you just an outline of everything that's been going on. So I got the cold, as you know, a couple months ago, and that took my voice, and then I recovered from that. We've had a run ever since. Zachary received surgery on his teeth, getting his wisdom teeth taken out, and also fixing all his other teeth. So that was a major blessing, but also took a lot of work. Was out of town, and then of course anybody that's had their wisdom teeth taken out knows that you have a few days of recovery. So we worked with recovery with him, had some extra end of the year things to do at work as well, to keep up with. Caleb has been doing well. Our other son, who's younger, who lives, he doesn't live with us anymore. He's moved on. His new job, for those that have been keeping up, came to an end. So here in Germany, they have a program where the employer and the employee can try each other out for a while, and if it doesn't seem like quite the right fit, it's okay. It's normal here for that to either work or not work here, and then go on. So Caleb is on to new things, some exciting new projects that he has going on. I'm excited for the things that have come up for him that Father has given him as opportunities here. He's going to be working in looking at helping out in many different areas. So I can't specifically say all of them yet because everything's not official. And you know how things go. Don't count your eggs before they hatch, right? So, but he's doing okay. He got really sick as well. So one of the problems that the poor guy had is he got really super sick the second week of working at his new job, and of course the employers didn't appreciate that. And again here he got sick this is Friday, so he got sick not last Saturday, but the Saturday before, I believe. Is that right? Something like that. Time goes so fast. It's hard to keep up. But I can tell you this, he ended up in the hospital for 2 days. I picked him up from work and brought him to the hospital. He ended up in the hospital for 2 days. He is okay, but man, he was miserable. And found out that with all the testing that he got the norovirus. It's called the Norwalk virus. For those that know anything about it, it is a nasty virus. I'm telling you, it can take out people really well and easily. So and all you have to do is breathe. They tell us at the hospital that it is an airborne virus, and all you have to do is breathe. And I teased him. So I guess it's not so funny, but everything's past now. Yeah, even breathing can kill you. So, but we brought him home afterwards, and he spent a few days with us during, the time off for Christmas and things that I had, and he would have worked, but he was too sick to work, so he was with us, and we had some good time together. We stayed together, and that worked out good. So he's doing good. He's coming along. I've had some extra parties to go to, which have been a lot of fun. I've been interacting with a lot of people at those extra parties, and we've had great interactions. And it seems like my what I believe is missions on the dance floor of loving people. They're responding, and I'm getting some testimonies of those that it's making a difference in their life to have a loving, warm community of people that not only are you getting taught dance, but that the community itself has been enriching to their lives. So that's been really great to have those testimonies come in, not asking for them, just them naturally coming and seeing that we're making a difference in the neighborhood, or in that town anyway that I work in. So that's been wonderful, really good. Tim and I have been talking for hours and hours. The book is really starting to flow down. Really excited. Book is coming. As you know, those that keep up with his newsletter, he just put out a newsletter a few days ago, and gave a good newsletter for things going on, so that you had it for the first of the year, and that worked out good. Let's see, can I set up this other thing for me to be able to see your comments? I totally forgot to set things up so that I could find your comments. Let me see if I can put that up now and see the beautiful comments coming in already, which is wonderful. I'm so glad to have so many people here. It's really great. I'll be able to see who's in here too. Promotion comes from the Lord, and the book is here. It's coming. Oh, it's wonderful. Yes, Faith, thank you for coming. Thanks for your comment. Now I can see your comments. We are excited about what's coming out in it. Everything is really, I think it's going to be, I wish I would have this information in my path of growing up. Lots of things, as you have seen, have changed and are changing in the world. And hopefully we are changing for the better, even if the world is not. We have, today, Tim is working on actually another post to give you guys, another newsletter to give you this weekend. Tonight is what he plans on doing, because there's a lot of things happening right now in the news, as many of you probably know, listening to what's going on with Trump and Iran and the United States. So he's bringing something that we're excited to share with you of what we see going on in this next new year. So all of you that love to hear our thoughts on what's going on in Bible prophecy, as well as what you can do to prepare for it emotionally and spiritually and in any other ways, that is coming out tonight. So to an email box near you. All of you, it's a free newsletter for all of those that would like to know what's going on. So if you want to sign up for the free newsletter or find the free newsletter, you can go to our website, which if you run it all together, it's a sentence. It's escapeallthesethings.com. www.escapeallthesethings.com. So, and we have plenty of other newsletters there and articles there to learn all kinds of things, how to live for God, as well as prophecy, where we are in end times prophecy. You're welcome to take, as much of the free information as you like. We also do have a support team content as well for those that would love to support us to keep vlog posts going and keep the lights on. Got her pretty bright in my face right now. As you can see, Zachary is loving singing himself. So my whole screen here in front of me is our pictures. So he loves to have me talking, and he loves to see his face and my face. He loves pictures and such. He always has. So he's enjoying this one. It's really great to just be online and just share him with you. As you can see, he's doing okay. So Zachary has been going through the medication that he's been on to keep his seizures down, or try to keep them at a minimum. Hasn't been working out as well. He's been having more common, a week we can have seizures. And for those that keep up, we'd love your prayers. We're looking at trying to see some different medications to put him on, some different opportunities and things. We're in a prayerful way of a direction of which way to go forward that Father wants for him. Of course, we already know by his stripes he is healed. That's what he really wants for him. We're all into believing that we have healing for sure. And that is available to us. Even today, we already know that he's going to be fully healed in this lifetime. So this is the way it is for now, but it's not the way it's going to stay. Right now, he's been a major blessing for us. He's helped us to be able to remember, in our first world countries especially, how easy it is to just keep going and doing things on your own strength and saying, yes, we believe in God and we can do nothing without God, but to have Zachary helps us to be able to see every day that in truth, in a deep way, we need God to show up so that we know how to serve someone that's a little more difficult to take care of, and that actually every single human being around us, we really need Father's inspiration and wisdom on exactly how he would have each of us serve one another. So he keeps us balanced and focused. So we're thankful for him, and we'll be thankful when Father not only works out his glory that he's doing in Zachary's testimony now, and when he is fully healed and able to share with you what it was like for him during this time. So it'll be a very good day. We're excited about it. I know many of you are looking for your own healings as well, and I believe all of these healings are coming for all of us. So what do we have planned? My glasses. You probably saw my glasses in the last vlog post that I did, and I lost a contact. And that was the best thing that could happen. Excuse me. For a few years, I was really supposed to go and see an eye doctor. I haven't seen an eye doctor since I lived in Costa Rica. That's been 4.5 years ago. And it was time, and I lost one contact after coming home from work, and that kind of threw me right into emergency going in and going to go for contacts. That's been something that I've been working on. I wanted to get eye surgery and talked to Tim about eye surgery. He said no. He didn't want to go for eye surgery. He wants to see God heal these eyes and wait for that time. So it was back to contacts. I went, and great technology these days, right? I went in and looked at different contacts, and I'm trying to get the type of contacts that you can see, that work with nearsightedness and also for reading. My eyes have changed just a little bit recently, and so I want, there are new types of contacts that you can see, both for nearsighted and for reading. So it's really cool. And I tried on a few pairs. I've had to go in a few times, and because each one that I've tried on and worn for an hour or so and come back, they say it's not fitting your eye right. So I finally went back again yesterday, and they gave me the same story. Those aren't fitting right either, so we have to order some other ones, and the last ones that they're ordering are going to take 4 to 6 weeks, well actually 4 to 8 weeks for them to come in, which is more than all the rest of them. And I am their first customer that's tried for these, so I'm gonna have a lot of fun trying those on, and hopefully they're gonna work. So I'm looking forward to that, and having those, because when you're out and you're dancing and you're out a lot, it's, you know, glasses don't work well for me. They stuff up my nose, and it's already stuffed up with a cold right now. Thank you very much. But I do have some glasses, but I don't like to wear them. Although I got some new glasses as well, and they're quite nice. Actually, I should have made sure that I had them here so I could just show them to you. Well, maybe I'll jump up and grab them here in a minute. We'll see. Maybe I'll bring them next time and share them with you, because I know many of you like to just hear how we're doing anyway, and here we're going. Flowers. It's all about flowers right now. That's what Zachary's saying, flowers. It's about flowers. What else do I have to talk about? You have any questions? You know, I have so many things, topics that I've wanted to share with you, and with this one, I started just today deciding to do a post, and sat down to try to write something down, and like everything just got stopped up as far as things to talk about. Which for me, as you know, is not normal or common. So I thought, okay, then it's supposed to be an update. It's just supposed to be an update, and just to share heart to heart what's going on. I've heard many of you have had, last year was a very difficult year. Last year was the best year of my life. It was the best year of my life, even though we had a lot of really dramatic things happen. Very hard things, as you know. It was first year that I started working. It was also very difficult on my vlog posts, which I was not thrilled with, and I'm hoping this next year will be more kind to that, but we will see what happens. But you know, we really appreciate all of you, and I definitely want to put in prayer requests this time. If you have any prayer requests, to go ahead and put them in, because I do want to pray for you, pray in this new year for those you would like to be prayed for, and just let you know we're with you. There's one thing that I will share with you that's a theme this last year, and that we've been doing frequently and regularly, that I'll share with you, because I think it's really helped us a whole lot, and I think it's something that can help everyone else out there in their own walks with God a whole lot. And it's just a simple, tiny thing. I've probably said it before in a few other vlog posts. But we pray regularly that God helps us to be able to see our own pride. And that is a huge thing. I know I've talked about it before. We're blind to our own pride. And that can be a very, very terrible thing, because that's where darkness stays and where Satan can play. So, Father has been really gracious to us to continue to give us revelation, both Tim and myself, revelation on areas that we both have had pride, and get some healing in those areas. And you know, the interesting thing that we've found, one of the things that we found that pride hides the most, is in areas where we're trying to protect ourselves. So, for instance, if you feel a hurt, bothered by something, whether it be the way that you're treated by somebody, or even by what life is giving you or not giving you, or those type of things, at the bottom of it, you know, what we're trying to do is take care of ourselves by trying to be in control. So any place that we're trying to be in control comes from pride. If it comes from a place of trying to do it on our own strength, or trying to save ourselves, these concepts, you know, many times we don't understand these concepts. We hear it kind of abstract in this way. But the thing is that as you ask for something like something abstract like pride to be dealt with from God, which is according to His will for sure, is that as you go along, He teaches you deeper and deeper what that means and what it looks like for you to be able to simply see it. If you're serious about it, those that diligently seek Him will find Him, and those that really ask and believe, they will get answered what they're asking for as long as it's according to His will. So when it comes to pride, look for areas of people that where you're offended by certain people, or you feel like you're not getting what you deserve, or you're getting, people are being cruel. All those areas may be true. If you're just being, and it's okay if you're hurting and you're sad, it's okay. And if you feel anger, that's okay too. Those things are not the problem. You're gonna feel those things in difficult situations. What makes it an issue, and that there may be some pride in there, possibly to evaluate, is if you feel more hopeless, if you feel more like it's totally unfair, with attitude like it's unfair, like that, or you're you have that extra anger, like, well, they shouldn't, or they should have, all those type of things with that extra energy in it, is coming from a hurt place in you. And those hurt places is where we hold pride. They are the areas where it's the whole finger thing. You're pointing the finger this way, and there's many fingers pointing this way. So I'm showing you when the fingers are pointing, most of them pointing this way, and when you're pointing that way, how to be able to see what exactly you're pointing into. You're pointing into the pride areas and how to see it. So those are the if you feel irritated with people, even slightly, there's something going on for you where there's something unhealed in you. And when you look at that and start looking at that, at first it's going to be really uncomfortable. Instead of blaming them, own that you're feeling uncomfortable. And it's not them making you uncomfortable, it's you choosing to be uncomfortable. These concepts are things that we have to slow down and follow through and remember to put into practice every single day and every single year, because they help us to be able to evaluate and bring every thought into captivity under subjection to the truth of God's way of Christ, right? Under subjection. And that is our job. That's our job. So if you can bring it and see if there's any angst attitude and say, God, I'm really having a hard time here. I'm having a hard time forgiving in this area. I'm having a hard time of having patience towards myself or others in this area. Those type of things, we use pride to protect ourselves. You can do a good Bible study on pride and find out that, pride is kind of like scales on a dragon, very closely knit together. They don't let any air in. They don't let anything in. It's the hardened heart. You don't let anything into that heart. Or if you let something into the heart, you say, you hurt me and broke my heart, and we go on and on. And there is a broken heart, but a broken heart coming from a place of I know that I need help. I'm weak, and I need help, and I trust in you, God, and in your strength. That's the appropriate brokenness. That's not a prideful brokenness. A brokenness where you broke me, or I'm just absolutely utterly broken and shattered by what you did, or whatever. That has edges of pride in it. And you want to deal with it. And so hopefully that gives a few more details on some simple ways that you can tell if you've got some pride issues. It's one thing to know when you have pride issues, and then what do you do once you know? So when you finally see some things are going on, or you're not quite able to see the details of what's going on, ask Father, please show me how to heal from this. Show me what is going on. And heal me in those areas, and help me to open up, and I choose to allow you to come in and work in those areas. And it's not going to feel good. You know, to have those areas cleaned out isn't going to feel good. But to have them cleaned out, you feel more connected to God. You feel more peace inside you. You walk in peace, and you find that your intimacy with yourself and others and with God is different. You feel more hope. You feel more hope in your prayers. You feel more trust. Pride blocks all of those things. So if you're having a hard time, you're feeling stuck in your relationship with God or with other people, that's a good place to look at and ask Father and just work on it every day. Make that a New Year's goal. can be a good way of working with it. So I don't see any prayer requests. I am near the end of what I'm sharing here. So if anybody wants anything prayed for, you better write it down because I'm about to pray for you. And then we're going to end today. So I'm going to leave it a shorter post. And it's time for Zachary's bedtime.
Hi.
Yeah.
Hi.
And he says hi. Hi, Zachary. Yeah. He's in there too. You some too. We love to see all of you. Thank you for coming. It's so wonderful to see all of you that have showed up today. And like I said, look tonight. Tim is going to send an email talking about all of this stuff happening in Iran and all this stuff happening just right now in these today and yesterday, and give you some Bible prophecy direction on that. Oh, great, Tina, you're here. Elaborate a bit more on how pride and patience are connected. Okay, that's a great question, Tina. I love that. So the question is this. Please elaborate a bit more on how pride and patience are connected. Okay, that's a good question. So what happens in pride is if you've ever looked at the times when you're really upset, you can't think straight. You know, have you ever said, "Oh, you make me so mad I can't even think straight"? That's what happens even at a slight irritation. You start to be able to think less straight. It shuts you down. You start not breathing as well. You shut down part of your brain, the way that it's functioning in its normal way, and it starts to hyper focus in certain ways. Inside, your thoughts start to hyper focus in certain ways. And so it all comes, you start to get to a place, like I said, pride has to do with control, and of course we use control to try to protect ourselves. So usually pride comes in from areas where we need healing. And so when you're all worried from fear, your fear consumes you, right? That's even scripture says your fear consumes you. So when you're worried about a fearful thing and you're focused on a fearful thing, and you're trying to hyper focus on what you perceive as the fearful problem in front of you, all your energy emotionally and sometimes physically in your physical body and your mind is on that. So it gives less ability to handle the other things around you as well, right? You feel more touchy, right? With everything else. It's like, can't you see I'm already hurting? And now you're wanting me to do this, and this, and expecting this, and this. You're just asking too much. You know, you start realizing that you're telling him to back off because you're already so super focused on what's going on already. So that's how pride works. Is it makes you more internally focused on a more specific area, usually wrapped around fears and control and trying to make things work to protect yourself or protect that which you think is being possibly violated or can be taken away or hurt or whatever, damaged. And so it puts you in a more touchy, painful place. And whenever you're in a more touchy, painful place, even physically speaking, it's like, ow. So you become less patient, right? Because you think that you don't have enough space emotionally, enough time or resources for other things to be put on you. So when we have more faith, that God will help us through things, and it may be painful. We might not be able to go away from the pain. For instance, this cold that I have. You can have a sickness, and some people, they're sick and they're truly sick, and yet they're patient, they're slow, they go through the sickness, they feel awful, and it feels not good, but they stay patient. They realize this is going to end some way, somehow, maybe sooner, maybe later, in whatever form, but that they don't feel left by God. They don't feel a bunch of having to protect themselves or anything else. They might, ouch, or I need more sleep or whatever, and share their needs and truly be in pain and have the emotion of it, but they don't feel like they need to attack you. Other people, when they're not feeling well, and sometimes when I was younger, for sure, definitely when I was younger, maybe it would be even more hard for me to control myself. Although I've had to learn how to control myself pretty well. When you're sick, it's like, I'm sick, I'm entitled for everyone to take care of me, and and you get into this like, you shouldn't expect this from me and everything else, and so you become less patient, right? So that will give you an example of the different ways you can be in pain. It's the same thing in sickness. It's the way that you go through it. You can see if you have some pride going on and some patience issues with it. If you've got that edge to you, even a little bit. Does that help, Tina? I hope I've answered your question. Does that make it a little more specific and give you some examples of something to hang on to kind of understand how they kind of function together? So faith brings patience. Faith says, this stinks. It's truthful. This stinks. It is awful. I feel terrible and I need some space. My body is screaming. But it's not. It says the truth, but it also says, and God will take care of me. It may hurt. I don't know how He's going to take care of me. He might let me suffer till I die. I don't know, but I trust in Him. In Him will I trust and wait upon the Lord in my comings and my goings, in my sickness, in everything. Where when you don't have that faith and belief, you believe that somehow God has abandoned you, everything is against you, and God will let you go through tough things if you hadn't figured that out so far in your life. I don't know how many decades each of you have been alive, but I've been around long enough to have gone through some very, very serious things, and I believe probably many of you have too. He doesn't keep us from bad things. He just doesn't, the sufferings that we have are not compared to the sufferings Christ has had, but that those sufferings, like Christ had, taught him things. It teaches us things as well. And this is going to be temporary. All suffering will pass. It will go away. It just stinks in this lifetime. We need it in order to learn things. So, and it helps us to learn, especially one of the biggest lessons is, what are we going to hold on to? Are we going to hold on to the perception of God with us now and comforting us while we're going through these hard things and learning what works and doesn't work? So we learn what works and doesn't work through other people doing things to us that don't feel good and do feel good, as well as us doing things to others in the same way and living in that soup using our free will. So that's what's happening now, and it's not going to feel good. But we will learn why God's ways work better than our ways, why love works better. And even though we may suffer for love now, as Christ suffered for being full love now, it has a better end game. It has a better end goal to it, and that it's worth dying for. It's worth dying to the flesh for. It's worth going ahead and going through the difficult things it is to be human, and yet know it that it will bring forth something that will last eternally for ourselves, in us, the characteristics that we need. So it's the way that you go through it. Then you can go through it with more patience, recognizing that hard people are a blessing to you. They're the best gifts you can possibly imagine. People that are the hardest are your best gifts. And that's really hard for, it's taken me a lot of forgiveness of a lot of people to be able to see that perspective, right? And to thank them when they step on my emotional toes or my real toes. It's not easy, when people hurt you and people take advantage of you, steal from you, all the different things that they can do. It is hard. And I'm not just talking from theory. I've got my own stories and my own testimonies. But, you've got your own to understand that too. So, we don't always get to choose what we go through. Oh, you see the butterflies on my earrings, huh? You see that? I was looking at my earrings. So I made these earrings. I'll show them to you. Maybe. He's saying butterfly on the earrings. I make earrings every once in a while. I haven't worn these. These are the first time I've worn these. So these are my new earrings that I made. Something fun, something new. So he's interested in my earrings. They're kind of different. I made them different so that they don't look quite the same. They kind of, which is the way butterflies are, right? All different kinds. So he's having fun with that. There you go. So we'll share with you what Zachary is interested in too. So that's what patience is. We are growing in patience. The way that you can grow in patience easiest is to be able to grow in faith. And the way you grow in faith is when you are being tested with hard people and hard situations, to breathe and go slow. Realize God has never left you or forsaken you. That even if he doesn't fix it the way you think he should or as fast as you think he should, that he has a purpose for it all. And that it's for your good. He's always for your good. He's never for your destruction. He's wanting to build things in you, build things that will last for eternity. And he's given you everything in your life up to that point to be able to trust in him and be able to make it through. And you might lose some battles. I was just talking to a girlfriend tonight and sharing with her, many times when you do it God's way, it looks like you're failing. It looks like even the inspirations that he gives you makes it, when you do them, it looks like things get worse and worse and worse. If you look at Bible stories in scripture, like Moses and the Israelites, Moses, most of the time, it looked like he was failing in what God told him to do. He goes to Pharaoh and the other magicians can pull out their sticks and make snakes too. And Pharaoh hardens his heart, all the plagues that happened with all of those things that happened. And more people died along the way. Happened with King David, he was anointed king and it looked like, God was blessing him. And then all of a sudden he's running from his father-in-law for 7 years. Things looked worse. Same for Joseph. Same for Christ. It looked, kind of good and blessed. He was going out and he was healing people and casting out demons, and then he was killed on a cross, and it looked like he was not winning. So God may have you do love and do what he says to do to an uncomfortable part where for a long time it looks like it's not working and people are taking advantage of it, and it looks like you're losing. And you might lose. Might make it like you're losing your whole life, and then at the end, there's a great reward for you. Now, how do I know this? By faith. Can't prove it to you, but I can tell you that since I've gone through my nervous breakdowns, where I absolutely came to the end of my ropes into severe depression. I realized that we're all living by faith anyway of what we're choosing to say to ourselves. And it wasn't about me being able to prove any longer whether what I'm saying is correct or not. It was what was going to make me happy and make this life easier for me to live. And I have had a lot more joy and a lot more happiness with my choice of how I believe and what I believe by faith. This all has meaning about. and it has all meaning about things that will be great for you for eternity. And this life is physical, it is temporary, it's gonna hurt. Hold on to your seatbelts. We're going for a ride, and it's only gonna get more interesting here. Which I'll leave that news to you with Tim's newsletter coming out. Guys, things are, for decades we've said things don't look like they're getting, there's a lot of things that have to happen for end times events to start unfolding. Well, we're starting to change our tune. So, we've been for decades, like a couple decades, doing this, and now things are looking interesting. So pay attention. Pay attention to what's in front of you now. Work on your love issues, because really the way that we prepare for end times events is by preparing our hearts to be closer to God. And the way we can get our hearts closer to God is to work with forgiveness, work on our pride issues. Forgiveness of other people really neutralizes the pride within us. There's plenty of tools, but pray every day. Pray every day for God to help you. And if you don't remember to pray, ask God to help you remember to pray. Come up with a way, because you need support in these end times, and you're not going to get them consistently from other human beings. It's just not going to happen. The only way that you can make the right decisions without anyone else underneath you to push you into doing it is by getting that relationship with God, you personally with God. We can encourage you on good works, but the truth is that you have to become mature enough to allow the Holy Spirit to encourage you onto the good works and for you to be able to stand in the last day. Is Zachary saying trials? No, I don't know what he's saying. What are you saying? What are you saying, Zach? Been talking to you. What are you saying? Are you saying hi to your friends?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
You're saying hi?
Hi.
Yeah. Say hi, friends.
Katrina.
Katrina. He's saying Katrina. So maybe he is saying trials.
Katrina.
He's saying my name. Katrina. Trina. Yeah.
Trina.
So that's it.
Trina.
That's what I have. Are any other questions or comments? It's great to see you, Jennifer. Really good to see you. Hopefully that's helped. I've said more than I thought. That's great. I'm really happy for the questions. I hope I get more, and feel free to leave comments here. I'd love to have your comments, and I try to get to them as quickly as I can, of course. And I just really appreciate all of you. I want you to know it's so fun to interact with you and be able to. This is Zachary. It's okay, and to just be able to learn and grow with you. My heart is with you, and I just have a lot of joy knowing that we are all pushing on and allowing Father to work with us, pushing on the best we can in our relationships. And I just want to bless you and your families now, for those that would like that. Then I'll wrap up. So, Father, thank you for this time we've had. I thank you for the blessings of the last year, the difficult things as well, Father. And I know that you have a big plan for all that's going on. You have a plan for all of us, Father. I know that each one of us is very special to you and precious to you. That there are many people that Satan has lied to that don't understand that and know that every single one of us is precious in your sight. You died for your son died for the sins of the whole world. There's not one he didn't die for, and that's how precious they are. So, Father, I ask for each of them in this next year to be able to have the revelation in their heart of just how important they are, that they are the pearl of great price to you. You paid with your son's blood to bring them into the family, Father, and your son loved us enough and loved you enough to go with that plan, Father. So, and he showed us that there is nothing, death cannot hold us. The grave cannot hold us because of what he's done. So any pain, suffering we have is temporary, and we are going to go into having something different. Father, I bless this next Gregorian year for everyone. Father, that you would help each of them to see the pride issues, to be able to go into forgiveness, be able to see specifically what's going on. Father, break through the chains of pride, help break through those strongholds in their lives, because Father, I know by doing that, that they will be able to have a better life. It will be an easier and more peaceful life on the inside, at least, even in the middle of the storms that they go through, Father. And many of them have family situations and health situations, Father. I know that by his stripes we are already healed and set free from all oppression, all disease, and all sufferings. And I thank you for that. And I thank you that it has already happened in the spiritual. It has already happened. And if it's already happened in the spiritual, then it is happening in the physical. Even if we don't see it with our eyes, we believe what's true. And you are the life giver. You are not the dead. You're not the father of the dead. You are the father of the living. And you have given us life abundantly. You are full of life and vitality. You give vitality to each of us, Father. You don't withhold from us, Father. It's us holding up and saying we don't deserve it, we're not worthy, that's doing it, Father. But it's not about worthiness, it's just the nature of who you are. And I thank you that you are just that good. And I ask you, Father, to help us to learn to receive that, to put down these things that are from youth that aren't working for us, and instead to walk in the same beliefs and believe in the value that you have for us. You showed your value for us through what the Messiah did for us, what you had him do for us, your firstborn son. And so we need to agree with you that we're that valuable, and to respect you and honor you and thank you for that, and act as the valuable children that you are in the proper way. So please help us to be able to do that in this next year, Father, and prepare for the end times events. I pray for all those that wish to have prayed for, that the Messiah told us to pray in Revelation, that we have the strength to escape all these things. And I pray that, Father, for each one that would remember that. And also in Revelation, our Messiah also told us to pray for white raiment, which is white clothing, for our nakedness, for salve for our eyes so that we could see, and for gold refined in the fire so that we would be purified and be able to stand before you ready for our wedding day, and ready for being able to work in your kingdom, which your kingdom is all about helping other people, Father. It's all about the hope and the joy of the rulership of being able to help other people come into your kingdom too, human beings, Father, and also of the earth being healed once again. We look forward to that time. We look forward to what's coming, and we praise you and thank you in Yeshua's name. Amen. In Jesus' name. So I hope that has encouraged you for the year. And feel free, you're welcome to give us emails. You can find our email addresses and things at www.escapeallthesethings.com. And for all of those you new, you can look at our Twitter account as well at Tim McHyde. And I post about 10 minutes before I'm going to do these blog posts, and let everyone know that I'm going to do one when I can. As you can see, life just happens, so I just do them when I can. But we all love you, and Tim is working away, and he'll get that out tonight. And we look forward to hearing your thoughts on the newsletters and on your prayers and what you're getting. And may you be blessed and stay well. And yeah. Mwah! To you and your animals and to everything around you. Until next time, I'm just going to say goodnight and go bring, you want to say bye-bye to your friends? Say bye-bye, friends. Say bye-bye. You want to say something real quick? Hey.
Hi.
Say bye-bye, friends.
Zachary.
Yeah. Hi, Zachary. Zachary loves his highs, so hi to Zachary when you want to say hi. and I'll pass on the highs for you to him throughout the days as I see them. So leave comments. Share these videos as well. If they've been helpful to you, hopefully they'll be helpful to other people as well. So feel free to share them, and maybe they'll be starters for conversations and maybe new friendships and connections. So love you all. Bye.